Okay, so as most of you know, probably all of you who have ever talked to me, my favorite lures to fish are MirrOlures. Um, so I just wanted to go over a little bit of what I know and how you can use them and what what scenario calls for what. My favorite lure is the S52MR. It's a sinking twitch bait. It's really good for water that's 3 to maybe 8 foot deep. So it just steadily sinks. It sinks about a foot every second. If you try to use it in waters less than 3 feet, you really have to have a faster retrieve to keep it from digging into the bottom. And if you ever get one snagged on a crab trap, you really got a problem. So this is my favorite one. I really like this color as well. I believe it's color 18. It's a greenback, silver size with a white bottom. I really like this lure. Next would be the Catch 2000, same color, number 18. However, you would fish this in shallower water. It's good for waters 2 feet. Where you wouldn't use the S52MR, you'd use the Catch 2000. It's a really great bait. Similar action, fish the same, cast, twitch, retrieve. Very good bait. Catch a lot of fish on both of these lures. These are probably have caught more fish than any of them that I've fished so far. After that would be this one here, and you can see it's a larger bait. It's got a really big profile. It's actually heavier. These are a 1/2 ounce. This is a 3/4 ounce lure, but it's a suspending bait, but it's only suspends to 1 foot around there. So it's actually shallower than these smaller ones. However, if you're actually fishing shallow water, it's a big bait. And when it hits the water, it makes a lot of noise and it creates a lot of commotion. So it might spook fish if it's on a really calm day and not any wave action going on or rain or anything like that. So do keep that in mind when using this bait. Next up would be the MirrOlure. And these are good for 2 foot, about 2 foot of water plus or minus there. You can really fish them in just about anywhere, but they're not going to go very deep. It is a suspending bait, it's not a sinking bait. So I like this bait. Like I said, you can fish these all the same. You can vary your retrieve and all this. I've only fished this particular lure, not in this color, the white, because I find that white has really been productive for me, and maybe it's just what I have most of my confidence is, but for whatever reason, that's what I usually throw. But I'm excited to throw the rest of these colors and see how they do. I've caught some nice trout on the white one off the beach. And although they're very small and light, I think they're 3/8 ounce. They're not very heavy, but they cast really well, especially if the wind's not blowing. I just side cast them, keep it low so they're not flying way up in the air to catch a lot of wind and get that resistance from all of your fishing line. Very good bait. Another one that I love is the She-Dog. And She-Dog has more of a high pitch rattle than the Top Dog. It's also a little bit smaller, but for whatever reason, this one, the She-Dog, has been a lot more productive than the Top Dog. And I'm not sure if it's just the sound or what, or that maybe I throw it more, but I don't think I do. I usually keep 2 of these tied on. One Top Dog and one She-Dog, but I usually get most of my hits on this one. Not so much with the Top Dogs here. This is a Catch 2000, and most people probably wouldn't choose to buy this color, but I've caught a lot of nice trout off of this color. So I would definitely pick up one like this and at least try it. I really like it. Other than that, let's see, the Mirror Magic. So I've never fished a spinnerbait in saltwater up until a few weeks ago, and I caught a ton of redfish, a ton, in a short amount of time. I bought 2 of these. Both of them were white. Like I say, white's where my confidence is, so that's what I get. But the plastic on it is very elastic from the factory, so that's kind of cool, and it's an interesting feel. But it also tears pretty easily, so after a few fish, you'll end up having to replace this. And as I did here with this one, and I replaced it with this color here. and had just as much success. So I don't know, sometimes I wonder if color really does matter as much as some people think. Um, Also, jigs. Typical jig, nothing special, paddle tail, whatever color you want to use, whatever weight head you want to use. However, I don't throw these very often. I get really frustrated when I ruin a spot, a nice fishing spot, when I get snagged and have to go retrieve these things. It really upsets me. So I don't throw them very often unless I know I'm on a sandy bottom where there's nothing to snag on. So in its place, what I'll typically throw is this. This is just a MirrOlure soft plastic, or something like this here, just a fluke. Now you can get, there's a million different types of which you can buy. But I really do prefer this over, just a classic lead head jig, because you can rig it weedless. I think you get, I don't know. I just really enjoy this here, and also you can peg the weight, and you can do it Carolina style. Is that Carolina or Texas? I'm not up to date on that anymore. But anyway, I really do prefer to use these because they're weedless and you don't ruin your fishing spots. I just use a standard knot here. I also like to sink this, maybe countersink it into the body a little bit more. That way when the lead slides down, it's flush up against it. When I'm fishing all of these lures, all of the MirrOlures, I always use a loop knot. Without a loop knot, they just don't act right. They don't get good action. With a loop knot, they have really good action, and it's when you stop it, it can move forward a little bit instead of having this stiff wire keeping it from moving it correctly. So I really like to use a loop knot with those. That's about it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Let me cover one more thing, actually. So a lot of people don't know how to pick the right lure, like what is a suspending, what's a twitch, what's a topwater. With MirrOlures, it's really easy. You'll have the line attachment point, and with a sinking twitch bait, the line attachment point is located above the eye on the back of the head of the bait, so it's right here. This signifies a sinking twitch bait. Now, suspending baits have their attachment point at the nose, so that signifies a suspending bait. And you'll notice all of the suspending baits and all of the twitch baits will have, their corresponding line attachments. Now with topwater, it's at the nose, but it's more extends from the chin. So anytime you have see a lure that has it extending from the chin, that's a topwater lure. Here's the top dog. I forget what this one's called. Mirror mullet, maybe. You can see it comes out of the chin here. A really light bait. This actually works great in shallow water. It doesn't create any, it just lands so softly. It's a really good bait. Other than that, I think that's it. Like I say, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. These baits are, I don't know, they're kind of expensive, but you keep them, you use them a lot. So you can buy a thing of jigs for $3 or $4, and you'll get a little nick or the tail will be gone. So it really kind of, I don't know, maybe it evens out a little bit. But they're well worth their money. I throw them all the time. I typically use 30-pound fluorocarbon with a loop knot on all of these. With these, I'll just tie just a regular knot straight through the wire. But that's it. These are the baits that I put my trust in and I fish day in, day out when I go.